Next up, I reread The Farthest Shore by Ursula K. Le Guin, originally published in 1972. This is the third book from Le Guin's Earthsea series, and it's always been my least favourite of the series, so I was kind of hesitant to revisit it. The Farthest Shore continues the story of Ged, aka Sparrowhawk, who was first introduced in A Wizard of Earthsea. He's now Archmage of the School of Magic on the island of Roke. Aaron, a young prince on the cusp of manhood, comes to Roke bearing a message, a portent of doom. Magic is leaving Earthsea. Wizards are forgetting the words of their spells, the language of the making. People are even starting to doubt whether magic was ever even real. Ged decides to travel to the outer isles of Earthsea to witness these effects for himself and hopefully root out their cause. He's joined by Aaron, who has pledged allegiance to him. Their travels take them to a city where former magic users now waste away in a drug-induced haze, an island of silk weavers who have forgotten the ways of their craft, and various other hopeless and harrowing sights. Can Ged and Aaron trace the path of destruction to its source? And can they reverse it before magic is drained from Earthsea entirely? Quick spoiler warning here. While I won't be giving away names or specifics of the ending, in order to discuss the book's themes, I do have to give some general spoilers. So if you haven't read this book and you don't want to know any more about it, skip now or forever hold your peas. This book is infused with a sense of heaviness and foreboding that, first time round, made it hard for me to read. The leaking of magic from Earthsea and the apathy it creates in its denizens closely mirrors real-world depression, and at first I found the experience of reading it kind of depressing too. But, as I said in a recent video, you can never read the same book twice. On rereading, I started to better understand and appreciate Le Guin's central message. The leak is caused by a powerful wizard who seeks to live forever, to move freely between the worlds of the living and the dead, and to have power over all. But without death, there can be no life, for without an ending, life itself is meaningless. To quote Le Guin's own poem, "Only in silence the word, only in dark the light, only in dying life, bright the hawk's flight on the empty sky." As someone who has struggled with the very idea of mortality ever since I first understood it as a child, this is a hard message to hear, but an important one to take to heart. If you spend your whole life afraid of dying, you never really live. And the antagonist, in denying his own mortality and seeking both endless power and endless growth, represents the very mindset we see in our political leaders and big business owners today. This book speaks to us as clearly now as it ever has, and revisiting it reminded me of why I consider Ursula K. Le Guin one of the finest writers who's ever put pen to paper. Also, there are dragons. Did I mention there's dragons? It's important to me that you know there are dragons. And Le Guin's dragons are probably my favourite dragons in all of fiction. And I love dragons. I mean, I love dragons. I've said dragons too many times now. Dragons. I'm happy to say that The Farthest Shore is no longer my least favourite book of Earthsea. In fact, I don't think I have a least favourite book of Earthsea anymore. I put off reading this for about a year after rereading The Tombs of Atuan, but now I find myself eager to continue my journey through the books of Earthsea. If you haven't read Le Guin before, this, being the third book in the series, is obviously not the place to start, but I highly recommend her books, both for the fictional world she created and the profound philosophy with which she infused them.